So this video is long overdue regarding Strongman Personal Finance, his true name, Bedpan Personal Finance, $17 Chicken Wing Finance, or my personal favorite, Meet Kevin's Bowls Washer Finance. Okay. This is the problem. His real name is Chris, by the way. He doesn't understand what AMC is. This is a guy that puts his money in extremely safe, investments similar to what senior citizens do. That's why actually I didn't come up. It was Feed Heat 79, a strong ape with down balls of steel who came up with bedpan finance. I came up with the $17 chicken wing finance, but it's like in other words, he has absolutely no balls. He makes a very very small percentage, somewhere between maybe 4 to 8% a year of his money, and it fluctuates. Sometimes he has good years. A good year is probably 8%. An average year is probably 5%. A bad year is below 5%. Okay. Now, this is the thing. He just doesn't understand what's going on with AMC. So we're gonna talk about it because I want to educate him. All right. It amazes me how he could still doubt that short squeezes or Moazes, mother of all short squeezes, are like Peter Pan. They're fictional. They're make believe. That's how he talks about it. $17 chicken wing finance. Okay, that's how he talks. He talks about it like it's just an imaginary thing. It's in our dreams. We're delusional. We're psychos. We're nuts. Okay, let's talk about a couple of examples. HKD. Okay, recently went to as high as something like, what was it, over $2,300 a share, from something like, what was it, $8 a share, within maybe, what was it, a 2 week span. Okay. I mean, I even made a video to tell him about it. Okay. You look at what GameStop did. Okay. January 28th, 2021. How it went to, like, what was it, over $500 a share. And you look at even what AMC did, how it went to $73 a share. Okay. Now, this is a thing that he's not understanding. Let's talk a little bit about AMC. AMC was the largest, winner in 2021. It went up something like over 2,000%. So, this is the thing he doesn't understand. There is corruption and manipulation going on with AMC, but this is the thing that Chris doesn't understand. When I said it's his real name. Strongman Personal Finance, Bedpan Finance, $17 Chicken Wing Finance, Meet Kevin's Balls Washer Finance, whatever you want to call them. I personally like, my favorite is $17 Chicken Wing Finance. There could be potentially billions or even higher. Thomas James investing, I think this is a little ridiculous. He said there was 2 trillion synthetics in AMC. Okay, that seems a little crazy. But I definitely think we're in the billions, possibly even the hundreds of billions. That's what I believe. Okay. Now, the reason why, let me explain to you something. Okay, $17 chicken wing finance. The reason why this can't be proven is because the SEC, the DTCC, FINRA does not require Citadel Connect or any short seller to disclose what their synthetic holdings are. Okay, this is the problem. This is what the core problem is. It's not AMC. See, he keeps talking about like just AMC. He talks about it based on its fundamentals. No, see, Chris, what you don't understand, right? No one is invested in AMC because of its fundamentals. You keep talking about its fundamentals. It's a dying deer to company. The stock's trading at very low levels. It's down 70%. About it, all you're talking about is fundamentals, and you're not talking about the real reason that we're invested in AMC. Okay, we're invested in AMC for the MOAS, the mother of all short squeezes. Now, once again, it goes back to This is what the problem is the corruption and the manipulation in the stock market. See, the SEC came up with a transparency rule. Even Elon Musk, who knows all about battling short sellers with Tesla and won, okay, he told Gary Gensler in a tweet, include synthetics in the transparency rule. In other words, force hedge funds and the short sellers to disclose their synthetics that they're holding. Because, see, this is the thing. We don't know, no one knows how many synthetics are being used here. Okay, some people are saying there's no synthetics don't exist. That's just insanity. Some people feel there are synthetics, but it's not that many. And then some people feel there's a tremendous amount of synthetics. The reason why I feel that there is a tremendous amount of synthetics, I'm going to tell you the reason why, is because I don't believe apes are selling, in my opinion. Adam Aaron said that 90% is owned by the retail investor of AMC. Now, if you include synthetics, you got to times that by probably 1,000. Okay, but let's put all of that aside. I personally believe we're dealing with an extremely large amount of synthetic shares. So the idea with AMC is to hold. But you see, the problem with a lot of apes is they put too much money in AMC. This is what the problem is. I realized this from being in the movement for so long. And it got to a point where they had to make a choice. Do I want to feed my children? Do I want to pay my electric bill? Do I want to pay, the heat? Do I want to pay my mortgage? Because they put too much money into AMC. And that resulted in some apes having to sell because of emergencies. What I've done is I consolidated. People already know all of this. I currently have only around 10% of my net worth in AMC, Ape, and GameStop. GameStop being the lower end. The majority of my holdings, obviously, is Ape and AMC. Ape to me is just a bonus. I don't expect a MOAS. There's no synthetics in Ape. To me, it's just a way to help AMC become fundamentally better, lower its debt. It's a bonus. Ape to me is a bonus. AMC is the true winner. Now, the thing is, what I'm trying to do is become very known, very famous on YouTube. And one day, if listen, someone's got to do it. If you know, if you see the AMC apes didn't seem like they wanted to protest. $17 chicken wing finance. One person showed up to my protest. I was very, very hurt and disappointed because I wanted to be like Mussolini. I wanted to have the March of Rome. You understand? I wanted to have 10,000 apes behind me in front of the SEC offices. That didn't happen. Lou, that shill, okay, who's not even, okay, I don't know. I personally believe Lou never owned AMC, but okay, he's claiming he's out of AMC. He's all about this GTII now. But Lou made video after video criticizing my protest, saying that it was going to cause AMC to be delisted. He said that Citadel was going to infiltrate the event. Apes were going to get arrested. Okay. So, like an idiot, I canceled the first protest. I should have never did it. I was getting thousands of emails of apes telling me I was going to ruin their money. I was going to ruin their dreams. Whatever. I booked the second protest. One person showed up. Now, you might say, why are you talking about protesting? It also goes back to, I went to the SEC website, okay? Out of, I don't know what, 10 million apes that are probably invested in AMC worldwide, there was only 100 complaints against Citadel. So what's happening here, $17 chicken wing finance, is that there is not enough awareness of the corruption and the manipulation. There's not enough pressure being put on Gary Gensler to do his job. The Department of Justice was supposedly investigating all of this. They said they found corruption in different areas. They investigated Melvin. They said that they were investigating everyone connected to Melvin, which would be Citadel. Again, this is all alleged, whatever they found, I don't know, because I'm not the Department of Justice. But the point is that it seems like there's a big stop sign there, right? Okay. Gary Gensler, definitely not doing this job, right? Okay. Ken Griffin is known for this. This is what Chris doesn't understand. Hedge funds have been doing this over and over. Toys R Us, Blockbuster, I could go on and on and on. They look for companies that are in trouble, that are distressed, and they use, naked shorting. It's supposed to be illegal, by the way, naked shorting. The SEC says they have no tolerance for it, but allegedly it's used every day. Okay, so the way that we're going to win with AMC and have the MOADs, this is what Chris doesn't understand, is that you have to hold. You have to have money in AMC that you don't need to live, you don't need to eat, you don't need to pay your bills, you don't need to feed your children, and you can keep it in there for as long as it takes. Now, of course, buying when you can is great too. Just don't do it on a payment for order flow platform. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get emails from vapes. They're like, hey, Father, I just bought like 100 shares of vapes. I'm like, that's great. They're like, I did it on Robinhood. I'm like, you know, stop buying on payment for order flow platforms, you lunatics. Okay. So let's put that aside. The main thing is holding. Now, the next thing, which is just as important as holding, is awareness. We need to build awareness. We need to get the country talking, even the world preferably, to stop the corruption going on with these hedge funds, okay, going on with synthetic shares, naked shorting, whatever you want to call it. It has to come to a stop. Okay, everybody keeps saying, oh, there's no evidence of it. There's no evidence. That's what Adam Aaron says. That's what Gary Gensler says. There's no evidence of this. But here's the thing. You know why there's no evidence? Because you are not, I'm talking to Gary Gensler, you are not requiring the hedge funds and the short sellers to disclose their synthetic holdings. In other words, it's not a rule. They don't have to disclose it. So how could, of course, you're going to say there's no evidence. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine a police officer goes to a drug dealer. Are you saying, and they're like, look, if you sell like cocaine and crack, it's illegal, right? But here's the thing: the police officer says, don't worry about it. You don't have to show us the crack and cocaine you have in your house. We're just going to take your word. You're not doing anything wrong. Are you going to come, break down my door and check out my house? No, we're not going to do that. The police officer, you don't have to tell us anything. It's all good. That's kind of, in a way, what's happening with Gary Gensler in the SEC. It's like he's basically telling Ken Griffin, he's basically telling the hedge funds and the short sellers, we trust you. You don't have to show us your synthetic holdings. It's all good. We trust you. You can't trust them. You can't trust them because we need to know if they're using synthetic shares. And all the evidence points to it that they are. Again, I have to say alleged, but all the evidence points to it, right? Now, the thing is this. We have a situation here. This is what the Strongman, whatever you want to call this guy, bedpan finance, $17 chicken wing finance. What he doesn't understand is that you got the government not doing their job. You got the SEC not doing their job. You got the Department of Justice doing nothing, investigating nothing. You got a guy, Ken Griffin, who has a ticket to ride, who could have up to hundreds of billions of fake shares, fugazi shares, synthetic shares, driving the price down. Now, the object is he wants it to go bankrupt. That's what Ken Griffin wants. That's what all the short sellers want. They want AMC to go bankrupt, of which then all these synthetic shares disappear. They don't have to worry about taxes. They're in the clear. They win. But the thing is, if we don't go bankrupt, you see what I'm trying to say? If we don't go bankrupt, they can't keep this going forever. They just can't. Okay? So the idea is to keep holding. And the idea is to, yes, if you can buy more, as long as it's not on payment for order flow platforms. Okay, I use Fidelity. I know that there's been a lot of negativity and negative talk with Fidelity, but I have no problem with Fidelity. I use Active Trader Pro. I have a professional assigned to my account. I'm a top tier client, and My orders go directly into the lit market. But the bottom line is this, okay? You have to hold. You have to buy when you can on non-payment for order flow platforms, and you have to build awareness. Now, I think protesting is a great idea because protesting is a great way to build awareness as long as it's peaceful. I mean, it's got to be peaceful, but nobody wants to do it. $17 chicken wing finance. That's the thing about the apes. I tried this before. I'm not going to be embarrassed again. They don't want to protest. So, the solution I came up with: become famous. That's it. Become famous. I don't care how I get known. To me, it doesn't make a difference. If I, by the way, Chris copies a lot off me. With the shirtless videos, and did he say something about he won the lotto? I don't. I won the lotto. I won $250,000 in 2019. Pick four, the New York Lotto. I don't. He copies a lot off me. He had a sword once. Remember the sword? He got that from me because I started the whole sword thing with Lou. He copies a lot off me. But anyway, let's put all of that aside. He talks about AMC like purely like it's a stock. That's just a dying stock. He's only focused on the fundamentals. In a way, he reminds me a lot of Morant's rants. Great guy. Morant's rants knows a lot about GameStop. I really like him. Okay, but he just looks at AMC based on its fundamentals. That's it. He agrees with certain things, but pretty much him and Strongman Personal Finance kind of have the same view of AMC. They base it on a fundamental opinion, and no one is in this for the fundamentals, Chris. Now, let's say one day they close their short positions, the hedge funds. You could potentially see, yes, $100,000 a share or $50,000 a share. Because like Chris sometimes questions that. He's like, where do you guys get this from? Once again, it's because of synthetics. We could be dealing with 100 billion synthetic shares. And I know he thinks that's ridiculous, but let me tell you something. If Adam Aaron, our CEO, is saying that 90% is holding this stock is retail. Okay, we own AMC. Okay, and I think honestly, to be perfectly honest, there's a tremendous amount of synthetic shares. So you got to take that 90% of times and buy 1,000. So if these short positions are closed, what he doesn't understand is that the only way that they're going to be able, okay, to get shares is they got to get it from us. So we set the price of what we want to sell at. He just doesn't understand this. He's looking at AMC from a fundamental point of view, and that's it. He doesn't understand this is a squeeze play. He doesn't understand this is the mother of all short squeezes. And he doesn't understand the corruption, the manipulation. I could go on and on and on. So Chris has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. And you really shouldn't listen to this guy at all in regards to AMC. Like if you're interested in like index funds, he's the guy to listen to. But if you're looking to get AMC, information, you don't want to listen to Bedpan Finance, $17 chicken wing fight. By the way, he I don't know. I gave him $20. Okay, I donated $20 to Chris because what happened was this is how it all happened. He was working in his CPA firm. Apparently, he didn't have a debit card. He didn't have $20 in cash. He never has any money on him. And I think his car's worth like $300. But let's put all of that aside for a second. Okay, so his co-worker had to buy chicken wings that cost $17, and he put it, I guess, on his credit card. Now, you would think the next day, Chris would come in, throw him the $20 or whatever it is, $17. He didn't do that. His co-worker had to go to him and say, Chris, where's my $20? So from what I understand, he never seemed like he paid this guy back. So I donated $20 to Bedpan Finance, and I really hope he took that $20 and paid his coworker back. But look, no offense to you, brother. I like him. I actually like Strongman Personal Finance. He seems like a funny guy. Seems like a cool guy. I think that if we hung out, I think we could have a couple of steaks, a couple of beers, maybe a couple of bottles of wine. I think we'd have a good, I think we'd have a good enjoyable evening. You can bring the wives, bring the kids, whatever you want to do. But the thing is, just in terms of AMC, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand why we're invested in this. He's basing it only on its fundamentals. And just, in all honesty and fairness, ignore the idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, but one day, and it may take some time, when we do have the MOAS, you understand that I'm never gonna let you forget this for the remainder of your life. And for him to think it's a joke, just look at what HKD did. Listen to me. How could you possibly sit here and argue with me, Chris, when you saw what HKD did? You saw how that went from like $8 to over $2,300 a share. Now, if I would have told him this before that happened, he would have been like, he'd be like, that's not possible, Apefather. That could never happen. But it did happen. And it could happen with AMC. Okay, I'm not a financial planner. I don't give financial advice. I'm an entertainer. AMC, Ape, and GameStop to Pluto.